guys, so I am here for a new series on my channel all about our image. So I'm super excited about this because the first topic that I am starting with in relation to our image is how to look good in your clothes all of the time. All of the time. And it's not hard. People say it's hard, but it's not. It's really not. So before I dive into that, let me just talk to you a little bit about this new series. So this series is all about building your image and working on your image so you can get that promotion, so you can feel comfortable dating, so you can be that woman that all of us want to be, that strong, beautiful, kind, creative woman that, you know, really shines in the world. So I'm starting with a fashion component, then we're going to move into the self-confidence component, and then we're going to move into the relationship component, because I know a little something about relationships. I have been married for 12 years, so I do want to talk about femininity and how I feel like a lot of women are trying to push femininity out of the window, and you know, it's all about, oh, I want to be equal with a man, or I want to be a man or play his role, and I want to be equal, and you know, and I have a few thoughts on that. So the whole series deals with our image, fashion wise, self-confidence wise, and relationship wise. So I hope you enjoy this series that I'm starting, all about self-image and identity. And let's get started with today's topic. You know, a lot of women email me. I've been doing this since 2010, blogging since 2010. I really don't know when I started YouTubing. I don't know, maybe 2013, or I don't know, girl. But I've been doing this a long time. And I've had clients, and I've done some, you know, personal styling and some things like that. And the number one issue that I think women have is finding clothing that they are comfortable in, that they feel good in, and that actually looks good on their body. And that's why it's so important to know who you are, but more importantly, it's important to know your body type, so that no matter what society says, no matter what the world says, you can look good in your clothes. And that is the most important part of looking amazing every time you step out that door, is knowing, I know my body type, I know what looks good on me, I may like this outfit over here, but I look a mess in it. And being able to identify that. You know, this whole thing of wear what you want, girl. Oh, if it makes you feel good. You know, a lot of things may make you feel good. You may feel good wearing sweatpants to work, but will you do that? And I'm speaking of really to professional women right now. Women that have professional jobs, entrepreneurs, not those people who work from home in their yoga pants. You know what I mean? You have to think about what you wear when you go to work. There are certain jobs where certain outfits would be inappropriate, and there are certain environments where other outfits would be appropriate. So this whole concept of wear whatever you want, wear whatever makes you feel good, I don't think that's what people are doing. People are just trying to ignore the reality of their body type, the reality of maybe they don't understand what looks good on them, or the reality that they just may need a little help. You know, sometimes you need a little help. If you want to look like a very stylish woman that people admire, you gotta understand your body type, boo. Boo! You gotta understand your body type. There is no other way. There is no other way. So I'm just gonna do a quick rundown of all the body types, and just to give you an overview. If you don't know which one is yours, maybe you want to take a quick listen and then strip yourself naked and stand in front of that mirror and say, oh, I think Kim said I'm that body type. Okay? So I also have a download for you. If you join my email list, I will leave a link here in the description box. You can get a free download to this whole presentation that you're going to be seeing in the video, so that you can, you know, look at it again at your leisure if you want to look at it and see like what body type you are. Okay, let's get started. All right, so the first body type is the inverted triangle. The inverted triangle is larger on the top and smaller at the bottom. Now you could clearly see it. You know, the legs are usually skinny or just really slimmer as compared to the upper body. So you may have broader shoulders or, you know, a little larger chest. It's very clear that your bottom half is smaller. And so there are things that you can do to play up that. You know, you're the kind of girl that could wear wide skirts and ruffles on your skirts and, you know, anything that gives you volume on the bottom, like wide leg pants and anything like that looks great on you because you're smaller on the bottom. And the goal, I think, is to always try to even out your body type so that nothing looks too like, oh, her boobs are so big, or oh, her butt's so big. Like, yeah, we know some of us have a big butt, but that may not be what I want to accentuate all of the time, and it may not be appropriate for certain environments. All right, so that's the inverted triangle. The next shape would be the pear shape. The pear shape, I guess you can think of Beyonce. I guess she's the most famous pear shape. Small at the top. They usually have a smaller bust, and then more full at the bottom. So I would say the sister to the pear shape would be the hourglass, which I'll talk about next. So the pear shape, like I said, is petite at the top. And then as you go down the curve of her body, she gets a little wider at the bottom. You know, the pear shape, it's a great shape to have, I think. With the pear shape, you can really do a lot of fun things with your tops. You know, those statement tops that are so popular, ruffles, asymmetrical tops. All of those type of tops look really good on pear shapes. So, I mean, there's so many things you can do when you're a pear. All right, let's move on. The hourglass. The hourglass, I guess, is like the most famous body type there is. You know, the hourglass has usually a round bust, but her waist goes in at the middle, and then once again, she flares out at the bottom. So the hourglass, you know, has round hips, and she can also have a round full bosom, but when it comes to the waist part, so the hourglass has round full hips usually. She probably could have a round bosom as well, like, you know, but if the waist goes in, that's an hourglass. Let's move on to the rectangle. So I think the most famous rectangle is Queen Latifah. You know, a rectangle is somebody who's really straight. So they don't really have much waist definition. The measurements of your top and bottom really aren't that far apart. And so I think that the rectangle really is a great shape to have as well, because you can go into the store and probably find clothes straight off the rack, because you don't have anything that's going to constrict, you know, those standard size clothes that most companies make. You know, you don't have really an extremely large bottom or an extremely large top. You're pretty even all the way down. So you're straight up and down. Okay, the last shape is the apple shape. I love apple shapes because my sister is an apple. And apples are just really round in their midsection. So you might have a full bust, but your issue is probably your tummy. You probably have a very large tummy, or, you know, even not a super, super large tummy, but just that's your issue, is you're very round on the top and you're small at the bottom. So that's usually the thing with apples. You may not be all of one thing, but what you want to do to figure out what body type you are is just look at yourself. Take your clothes off, stand in front of the mirror, look at old pictures of different outfits that you have worn, and ask yourself, oh, am I smaller on the bottom? Am I bigger on the top? Is my midsection, you know, the area that I have issues with? Because like I said, it's not like an what's that saying? I can't even remember now. It's not an all sizes fit one thing. You may find that your body type can fall in between two types, but I guarantee you lean more towards one body type than another. So I would say take some time and sign up for the download that I'm going to give you for you to kind of think it over. What is my body type? what is my body type, because that is the first step to fabulous style. It doesn't really matter what your style is. You know, some of us are more classic. Some of us like to be a little more trendy. Some of us love color. Some of us don't love color. You know, we're such a diverse group of people. So it's not really about what style you should have. It's about, do these clothes look good on your body? Do they look good on your body, girl? Are your clothes pulling? Are you pulling your skirts? Are you showing every last jelly roll that you have? Are your shirts too tight? You know, are your shirts too low cut for the environment that you work in? Are your pants too tight? Are they wrinkling up and bunching? You know, how do you look in your clothes? It's time to do a self-inventory. I wanted to come with the first installment of this image series and talk about the secret to great style. And really the secret to great style is really no secret. It's learn your body type and then wear clothing that flatters your best assets. That's all I have to say. I will see you in my next video. I don't know when the next installment of this series will be, but it will be, yeah. We're probably going to talk about self-confidence next time around. As someone who is plus size and who has had to deal with self-confidence issues, I do want to speak on this topic because I think a lot of people who speak on this topic are misled and off. And I think that we do need to have a real conversation about what self-confidence is and self-esteem, because it's something that you'll struggle with your whole life. It's never going away. People who tell you, you know, they don't have any issues with self-confidence, you know, they're lying. And that's just what it is. Everybody, we all struggle with self-confidence from time to time. So yeah, if you have any questions, leave them below, and I will see you in my next video.